Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is TechnoTuner, and here today we're going to be taking a look at another deck profile for one of my favorites to play at locals, and is now an upcoming OCG meta contender, Vanquish Soul. This deck has a lot of different combos in which you can go through without even needing to really do much on your turn, and being able to avoid Nibiru. For this deck, what we're going to be doing is just going through and taking a quick look and see what I've prepared for you today. All right, so let's get started with the main deck. So, first off, I play 2 Vanquish Soul, Caesar Vias, or Valius. During the main phase, you can target 1 non-dragon Vanquish Soul monster you control, return it to the hand, and if you do, special summon this card from your hand. You can activate the effect, one of these effects, by revealing monsters in your hand with the listed attributes. Earth, this face-up card, is unaffected by your opponent's activated effects this turn. Earth, Fire, and Dark, destroy 1 other card on the field. It's actually very beneficial. It's a 3K beater that allows us to consistently set up presence on our board. If you were to actually bounce him back to your hand and then summon him the next turn to swing, you can do that as well. For his effect, you basically have to target another Vanquish Soul monster. So this is a way that you can get around Infinite Impermanence and a couple others as well. So, in this case, we're going to move forward with Vanquish Soul Heavy Borger. During the main phase, he has the same effect as Kaiser Valius. You can target 1 non-machine instead of non-dragon Vanquish Soul monster you control. Return it to the hand. If you do, special summon this card from your hand. Quick effect, you can activate 1 of these effects by revealing monsters in your hand with the listed attributes. First one, if you reveal a dark, you get to draw a card. If it's earth and fire, you can inflict 1500 damage to your opponent. So you can activate this effect during your turn and your opponent's turn at least once. So it's a great way to go through and try to get resources or put it into a time issue where if you're at time and you burn for 1500 and that's all you need for game, that can get you a win. Up next, I have 2 Vanquish Soul Jailong. This card is reveal. If you reveal a card in your hand to activate a Vanquish Soul card or effect, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. Quick effect, you can activate 1 of these effects by revealing monsters in your hand with the listed attributes. Fire, change the battle position of 1 monster on the field. If you reveal 2 fires, you can add a Vanquish Soul card from your deck to your hand, except Vanquish Soul Jailong. You can only use each effect of Vanquish Soul Jailong once per turn. You cannot activate more than 1 in the same chain, which is very beneficial because it can get you your trap or any other monster that you need. So if you don't have Heavy Borger, you can get Heavy Borger from your deck to your hand, or anything else. You can get the trap, or you can get the continuous or the quick play spell. Up next, I do play 2 Vanquish Souls Pantera. If you control no monsters in the main monster zone, you can special summon this card. You can activate 1 of these effects by revealing monsters with the listed attributes. Earth, this card cannot be destroyed by battle this turn. Earth and Fire, destroy all spells and traps in this card's column. It's very beneficial for back row if you want to get around something that's set in the opponent's back row, but you're not sure what it is, or if you're just wanting to make it to where it cannot be destroyed by battle to survive a turn. It's very helpful. Up next, I play 3 Razin, which is very helpful as well. He's the main component of the deck. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add 1 non-warrior Vanquish Soul monster from your deck to your hand to activate 1 of these effects. If you reveal a fire, this card cannot be destroyed by card effects this turn. Fire and Dark, destroy all other monsters in this card's column. So outside of him being a destruction effect, he is a on-summon Vanquish Soul monster addition to your hand, which is very helpful. Finally, for the Vanquish Soul monsters, I play 3 Vanquish Soul Dr. Madlove. If this card is normal or special summon, add 1 Vanquish Soul spell or trap from your deck to your hand. Quick effect, you can activate 1 of these effects by revealing monsters in your hand with the listed attributes. Dark, 1 face-up monster your opponent controls loses 500 attack and defense. If you reveal a Dark and an Earth, return 1 monster with the lowest defense on the field to the hand, your choice, if tied. So in this case, you can bounce back your monster or your opponent's monster if they have the lowest defense, which is very helpful. All right. Outside of the Vanquish Soul part of the deck, we do run the Kashtira engine and 2 additional cards which can help us. Now, the one thing I will state about the Kashtira engine, we are not running Unicorn, but we are running the 1 Rise Heart and the 3 Fenrir. Rise Heart is just a fire target and a level 4, which helps us do Xyz plays. Fenrir is a monster, or is a card banish, and is just a big body Cyber Dragon, which is very helpful. We do also play the 2 Dino Wrestler Pankratops as another Earth attribute, so we have that for our effects. He is also another Cyber Dragon, and he is a quick effect, tribute himself to pop a card on the field, which is very helpful if you need to get rid of a troublesome card that is being a real pain. All right, right on into the spells. We'll play 1 Reinforcement of the Army. This is our way we get to Rosin, or in this case, Kashtira Rise Heart. The 1 Pot of Prosperity, because we don't really care about our extra deck summons right now. The only thing that we do care about is our 3 rocks that we do play, and most people usually play 2. It's a good way to use our resources from our extra deck so we can get additional hand advantage. Up next, we play 3 Stake Your Soul. Reveal 1 monster in your hand. Special summon 1 Vanquish Soul monster from with the same attribute but a different name from your deck, but return it to the hand during the end phase. You can only activate 1 Stake Your Soul per turn. This card is very beneficial, does help, so if you have an Ash Blossom or another hand trap that fits one of the attributes, you can activate Stake Your Soul, special summon it from deck, a Vanquish Soul monster that can be used. Whether it is going for damage or if it is just to get effects going. I do play the 1 Vanquish Soul Continue. You pay 500 life points, target 1 Vanquish Soul monster in your graveyard, either add it to your hand or special summon in defense position. It's a great way to continue on with a lot of plays. Then I do play the 2 Infernoble Durendal. Infernoble Arms Durendal is very helpful because you can equip it to a monster. It doesn't have to be your monster, but it can be your opponent's monster. Add 1 level 5 or lower fire monster from your deck to your hand, or fire warrior monster from your deck to your hand. That's the only real reason we're playing it. However, if this card is sent to the graveyard because the equipped monster is sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 level 5 or lower fire warrior monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn, except for warrior monsters. We do not activate that effect because it does lock us from our extra deck and moving forward. Then finally, for back row and monster removal, we do play 2 Lightning Storm. It's just a easier target or easier card to use instead of using 3 Raigeki or 1 Harpy's Feather Duster and 2 Raigeki. It's basically just either or. All right. Then moving on into the 1 trap that we play before we go right into the hand trap lineup. So, for the 1 trap that we do play that is in Archetype, it is the Vanquish Soul Snow Devil. This card's a lot of fun, especially if you have one of each attribute in your hand. Reveal up to 1 each of Dark, Earth, and Fire monsters in your hand. Apply the following effects in sequence based on the number revealed. 1. Inflict 400 damage to your opponent. Then you can special summon 1 Vanquish Soul monster from your hand. 2. Inflict 600 damage to your opponent. Also this turn, Vanquish Soul monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effects. 3. Inflict 800 damage to your opponent, then destroy all monsters on the field. This is a great way to basically nuke the board for high-level monsters that can't really be destroyed by monster effect, while also burning your opponent for damage and getting an extender on the board. So it allows you to get Rosin or anything else that you really want to on the board. Finally, we come to the hand trap portion of the video. We do play 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, 3 Molcharmi Fualos, 2 Perulia, and 3 Infinite Impermanence. Now, you do not have to play any hand traps in this build. I personally do because it helps me deal with a lot of the issues that my opponents do play, whether it be adding cards, special summoning a lot, or being able to activate monster effects while giving me the capability of doing it. If I may make a recommendation on what to cut, I would say if you cannot afford the Perulia or Fualos, I would recommend 3 Effect Veiler or 3 Ghost Spell and 2 Nibiru. This way, it gives you the capabilities of still being able to negate monster effects and still being able to interact with your opponent. All right. Now that we've gotten through the main deck, let's take a look at the extra deck. So, for the extra, we play 1 Time Thief Redoer, 1 Battling Boxer King Dempsey, 1 Evil Swarm Exciton Knight. I play, personally, the 1 number 39 Utopia to allow me to go into the number S39 Utopia, the Lightning, and 1 Red Eyes Flare Metal. I do have a couple other exceeds, but I want to first go over these here first. Time Thief Redoer is the same as I've said in prior videos. It's basically a way to get through opponents' resources by stealing cards from their deck that might be able to beneficially help them if they can't draw it. Dempsey is our way to get to Rosin. When it's special summoned, you get to add 1 level 4 or lower Fire Warrior monster or Battling Boxer spell and trap from your deck to your hand. Or in certain cases, you can send it to the graveyard. Exciton Knight is just a way to nuke the board if you can't get over certain things, or if you need a way to just equalize board state. Number 39, Utopia and Lightning, is just so you can get a 5k beater to beat over something if you're having troubles getting over the 3k mark. Red Eyes Flare Metal, this one is a fun one. If you like to burn your opponent for a lot of damage because you don't like dealing with them activating effects, and you have 2 level 7s on the board, whether it be the Kashtira and the Borger, it is a great way to just go directly into Flare Metal and be like, hey, take 500 for that. You get your Tax Dragon for free. For the final 2 Xyz monsters I play 1 Superstar Slayer Typhon Sky Crisis, and of course the 1 Zeus. This Zeus is a lot of fun because, once again, it's like Exciton Knight. You basically just send all other cards on the field to the graveyard. Typhon just helps you deal with 3k or bigger monsters. As for the link monsters of this deck, I play 3 Rock of the Vanquisher, which is a main component in the Vanquish Soul deck, in my opinion, until the newer Xyz comes out. From there, I might cut it down to 2 instead of the 3. I do like the 3. It cannot be used as link material. However, while you control a Vanquish Soul monster, your opponent's monsters can only target monsters you control with the highest attack, their choice, than if it's tied for attacks. During the main phase, you can quick effect. You can activate one of these effects. Special summon 1 Vanquish Soul monster from your hand, or add 1 Vanquish Soul monster from your graveyard to your hand. So if you're looking for recursion of the big boys into being able to bounce back the little ones, that is a great way of doing that. Next, I do play the 1 Dark, the 1 Hida. These 2 are just great ways if my opponent Ash Blossoms or has a Bestial in graveyard. I have capabilities of getting more materials on board. I next play the 1 Nightmare Phoenix. This card is very beneficial in letting me pop my opponent's card if I have a troublesome spell or trap. If it's co-linked, it lets me draw a card as well. Then finally, I play the 1 Nightmare Unicorn. Nightmare Unicorn lets me spin it back, a card that I can't usually pop. So if I get into Detonator or have to deal with a Detonator somewhere, it basically lets me discard a card that I don't really need to be able to spin it back to the extra deck so I can potentially swing for game or find